All right, for your next project, you're going to be creating a famous typography assignment, and we're going to use Adobe Illustrator to do that. So what I want to do is just get you started. You can open up Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to click Create New, and I'm just going to use one of their prefixed templates. Um, so I clicked on Print, and I'm going to change this to inches so that we can see it's 8.5 by 11. I also want to point out that this is going to be 300 ppi, so 300 ppi is points per inch, and whenever we work with print, we want to make sure that it's 300 ppi or greater. If you're working just in the digital environment, and this is just going to go up on the web, 72 is fine, but for this example, we use 300. Create my document, and then once it's created, I'm going to bring in the image that I want to trace. So I've got an example here. This is just Johnny Cash. And let's go ahead and resize this by holding down the Shift key so that it keeps the proportions. And we'll get him within the artboard. The artboard again is that white part behind there. And that's good. So you could go ahead and start tracing the way it is now. But what I like to do is I like to expand the image. And to expand the image, you use the image trace tool. And oh, I clicked on it and didn't mean to. So that's not what I wanted. I wanted to use the 6-color trace. So let's go there. This will take a minute because it's a large image. But what this will allow you to do, it'll still let you see lines and the definition of the image, but it's more simple. And then you can use that to make your highlights and your traces. So once that's done, I'm going to hit expand, and I want to make this a little transparent. So I like to do this little trick where I add on top of this another layer. So once I get on that layer, I'll go ahead and create an image, or sorry, an object. This is just a white object, but then I can change the opacity to reveal what's behind there. And then I have a nice little background to work with. So I've locked these layers. I'm going to create a new one, and this is where I'm actually going to do my work. And let's just go ahead and get started by putting out, actually we'll start with Arial. Oops. Putting out a word. Now there's several ways that you can manipulate font. You can resize it using the resize tool. You can change the kerning and line height and other placement of the font and the characters using the character tools. You can also expand this into an object. When you expand into an object, you have more control over the lines. So there's two ways to do that. You can go to Object, Expand, and then it expands it into individual objects. You can also go with it selected and just right click and then go to Create Outlines, and it'll expand it in the same way. Okay, so with that done, now I can play around with the different points using my direct select tool, and I can then manipulate using the anchor tool to start creating a hairline, all while still keeping my letters intact so that you can, oops, you can still make out the word. So that's the goal. Use Adobe, explore the options that you have with expanding font characters into objects, and then manipulate these to form outlines to make out the image. Now, the ultimate goal will be to be able to turn off the backgrounds and be able to make out the image. And I've provided examples in the project, but if there's something specific that you're looking to do, holler at me and I'll walk you through it. And if I need to, I'll make another tutorial on how to manipulate the font. I don't want you to add additional objects. I want you to really just focus on letters and font to create your objects. If you are using other objects, they should only be used to support the overall um, design. They shouldn't be used to make the design. So good luck. If you have any questions, let me know.